Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Throw them some vessels and they work so hard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. Illegals in my yard. I don't even ask if they've got green cards.
Cortana!
So sorry for singing the national anthem of my people. That was probably an earache for you. So how about this? I promise I will never sing ever again if you help me get to 100K so I can do my face reveal with my silver play button. 100,000 con salsa verde, por favor, te lo pido. Please help me prove to my family that I'm the only one from the nest that made it, even though I got pushed off and butt my head down there. Tell you what. You get me to 100K, and I will do the face reveal with all the Mexican items in front of a Home Depot. God damn, I'm just adding to the list of things I have to do. What is wrong with me? I'm Mexican. You can't get me up from my chair, unless it's for 100K subs. So that way you guys can have your fun little stereotyping, okay? Well, damn, Freight, you're throwing your entire ethnicity under the bus? For some clicks? I can respect that. Have a sub. That's what I'm hoping the mentality is. But realistically, you're here because you love the Nintendo hate and the Nintendo news, which makes no sense to me because I know a lot of you bought the damn thing, but I can't complain. Red salt is red salt.
All the same meat to me. I'll slaughter each and every one of you.
Honestly, I think the Switch 2 release has been a disaster. No, not in terms of sales, but in terms of how mismanaged it's been. You see, one thing I didn't tell you guys is that the Switch 2's boxing is stupid. The most vital component, the tablet itself, is positioned at the very top of the thin layered cardboard box. This oversight by Nintendo is honestly quite astonishing. They prioritized actually putting the docking bay beneath that in a more secure area and leaving the tablet at the very top easily exposed, which is exactly what some GameStop customers faced when GameStop employees stapled receipts on top of their boxes, damaging their brand new screens with staple holes. I'm not even kidding you. When I saw my friend unbox this thing, that was my first immediate thought. I'm like, oh geez, the tablet is placed at the top? That's the type of packaging that never considers people like DSP Gaming, who are stupid, or GameStop employees. And it's just been a disaster. Well, that's just a little side story I wanted to share with you because it's fucking hilarious. The real story is in the title of the video. Now, Nintendo announced that they have a policy where they guarantee you they will replace any Joy-Con that is drifting. That's actually good, but also bad at the same time, because when I read that, I knew immediately that meant Nintendo had done absolutely nothing to fix the major flaw in the design of their previous model. Joy-Con drifting was a huge controversy that surrounded the Switch. It was Nintendo's red ring of death. This is something that I faced when I had a Switch 1 model. Oddly enough, I never faced this with the Switch Lite, but to be fair, I didn't keep that system for long. I didn't keep my Switch 1 for long either, but in the short time I had it, it already had Joy-Con drifting issues. And that was my biggest problem with Nintendo, is they made one of the most uncomfortable controller schemes in existence. The Joy-Cons are pieces of shit, let's face it. And I don't like this whole idea that the controller that comes shipped with the system is intended to suck ass so you go and buy their expensive Pro controller. That's Nintendo for you. Everything about the system is intended for you to buy accessories that make it a playable device, like hand grips, or paid online voice chat, or a functioning controller. Then we get an update today because it's only been about a week since the release of this thing, and there is already Joy-Con drift issues happening. I got my Switch 2 from Walmart on Thursday, but was unable to use it until Friday. The left Joy-Con felt a little cattywampus, but I still was able to play Mario Kart World. Today, Saturday, June 7th, the stick felt worse when pushing right. I guess I already had stick drift or something. Tried to recalibrate it in the Switch settings and it showed the joystick all messed up. Called Nintendo and now have to send it in for repair. My luck in a nutshell.
What you fucking deserve!
Ah, yes! Yes! Okay. All right. I get it. I'm an asshole. Nobody actually deserves that. Look, if you pay for a product, you deserve to have a functioning product, albeit even if it's a soy-induced product that emasculates you like the Nintendo Switch. But hey, even if you were buying a bottle of soy and the ingredients were expired, that's still wrong, no matter how cringe it is that you bought it. What's more, he backs it up with some footage, so we're not just being clickbaited like it's an RGT85 or Dreamcast guy video. That looks bad. Indeed, that looks bad. But that's not Joycon drift. It's still a horrendous defect, though, that should absolutely 100% be replaced by Nintendo, and I'm sure they will do that with no questions asked. But that's not going to permanently fix your solution. Let me tell you what will permanently fix your solution. Returning the damn thing and going and buy yourself a Steam Deck. Personally, I wouldn't really be handing Nintendo money if they still haven't learned how to fix this basic issue. Hell, if, Nintendo had spent just a little more on R&D, they wouldn't have to spend so much fixing people's things. Because then there's the cost of shipping, the cost of repairing, and then the cost of shipping it back, then paying people to fix it. To me, it makes no sense that they had 8 years to resolve this issue with a permanent solution. You don't know that, Frit. You don't know. They probably spent billions, and the mechanism that they researched just didn't fix the issue. You're too unfair on Nintendo. Defects happen all the time in hardware. I mean, you are right. Defects do happen all the time. I've just personally never once had an issue on my PC that I couldn't resolve myself. I never once had to ship anything back. It's crazy to me that I know so many people whose consoles have died on them in like 2 to 3 years or have defects show up within months. And meanwhile, here on my PC, it took over 6 years before I had to finally do something like replace the power supply. To me, it's nuts that people always claim PC is unreliable, PC isn't convenient, and yet it has seemed to outlast most people's consoles that I know. And it's still more powerful. Any of the issues I see people face on PC would require an entire replacement of a unit if it were a console. Either way, it's not a fair comparison, I know. My PC hardware is modular. At any point, I can replace whatever the hell I want, without having to wait for dear old Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft to come in and fix it for me or tell me my warranty is void. To me, it's just hilarious that this user posted this on X as well, formerly Twitter, and he was getting flack from Nintendo guys who came in saying, "Actually, that's not Joy-Con drift, that's just defects." As if it's any better? Like, I don't understand Nintendo guys. They were mad at me when I realized that GameCube games were locked behind the Switch 2. And their problem was that I didn't realize that versus the actual issue. And that was what Nintendo was doing. That's Nintendo fans for you. They care more about the semantics than the actual issues at hand. It is good, however, to see that Nintendo's doing the right thing. No questions asked, we will replace it. And they know they have no choice because they knew right out the gate there was going to be a lot of these. So they had to set up an entire program just for it. There is a reason I never buy day one hardware. That's why I never buy the first generation of any iteration of a GPU. But then again, my GPU spending habits range anywhere from every 6 to 7 years or more, because that's just how reliable updated models are. That's why I always discourage people from buying day one. Day one is oftentimes a prototype for the consumers, as sad as that sounds to say. It's why the Xbox 360 and the PS3 were so faulty and unreliable devices. It's always better to wait for improved models of any single console system or any piece of hardware for that matter. But that's the problem with the Joy-Cons. They're kind of permanently going to be like this. Because it turns out, Nintendo didn't actually change any of the mechanisms under it, as has been noted here. El Nintendo Switch 2 tendrá drift. Un jugador sacrificó sus Joy-Con 2 para averiguarlo y reveló un detalle. Well, I know, you guys don't speak my language. Okay, sorry. Let me translate this to English for you.
Then why did you stay in Mexico?
One player decided to end the doubt of thousands of players, so he opened his Joy-Con 2 on launch day. This is a risky move if you don't have the necessary knowledge, mainly because we are talking about controls with a new assembly and technology. Despite this, he did not hesitate and revealed something worrying about Switch 2 and its controls. For some time now, the Joycon 2 generated uncertainty in players, as Nintendo confirmed that the Switch 2's controls do not have Hall effect technology, which implies that a mechanical failure could generate the annoying drift. However, it does not seem that the history of Switch will repeat itself with the new console, as surely the company has made important adjustments to avoid it. One player decided to clear everyone's doubt and open his Joy-Con 2 almost out of the box. He confirmed what everyone feared. Indeed, the controls of the Switch 2 do not have Hall effect or any technology that prevents the future appearance of drift. In addition, he stated that the sticks of the new console look very similar to those of the Switch. They're not Hall effect, they're not TMR, and there's no magnets on the sticks. I took one of the Joy-Con 2s apart, and the markings seem to indicate they're from the Alps. And inside, they look very similar to the original Joy-Con sticks. They may have completely redesigned them to reduce the likelihood of drifting. They seem to be very easy to replace, and that they are standalone modules, which is at least good news. It's a bit of luck. The only controller I drifted with was the PS5 controller, and I had 3 Switch. Nintendo said the Switch 2 sticks were rebuilt from zero, and these look suspiciously similar to the Switches, which were prone to drift. It may be months before we see the first cases of drift on the console. Oh well, we don't have to wait long, because some people are already facing it on social media. Now, you have to keep in mind, there's going to be those who fake it, and those who are legit. It's 50-50. I could imagine the number of people actually facing this issue isn't anywhere near as high as we are thinking, because that's the influence social media has on people. And I'm just letting you guys know because I think it's important to always be informed on these things. Being as informed as possible before purchasing something is always the best solution. But, you know, ain't nobody got time for that. People buy on impulse. People buy on high expectations and hype. Buy first, ask questions later is not the best course of action here, but you know what? It's all up to you. And I'm telling you this because a pair of Joy-Cons will cost you $94 fucking dollars. Personally, I don't like to recommend people go out and buy a functioning controller because I truly believe the controllers that come with this device should function as intended, but that is the best solution I can give people. Just get a pro controller. It's exactly what my girlfriend did, because she knows that the Joy-Cons are pieces of shit. They're terrible, I'm sorry, but I still think it's insane that Nintendo decided to keep these awful things. I hate them. I understand that they're supposed to serve multiple purposes, but the results of trying to build an all-in-one little handheld Joy-Con controller that can do gyro, rumble, be used as a mouse, as little miniature Wii nunchucks, as cool of a concept as it is, everybody wants their Switch to be packed with a pro controller, not these pieces of shit. I have Xbox 360 controllers that are older than most people buying the Switch 2, and they still function perfectly fine as intended. I value reliability over gimmicks, and I would say these are expensive gimmicks. Next time, make a console with a regular controller, please, Nintendo. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. On the road to 100K. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.